Our top lead this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been 9 months since ethnic clashes broke out in Manipur. And it's still not over. 200 people have been killed in the state so far. 60,000 people have lost their homes. The battle lines between the Meiteis and the Kukis are so deeply drawn that they can't enter each other's territories. Now, what started the fire was a Manipur High Court order that had asked the government to consider giving the majority community, which is the Meiteis, the status of tribals. The Kukis, who are tribals, were up in arms. And what followed is arson, violence, murders, and rapes. After 9 months, ladies and gentlemen, the Manipur High Court today has modified that order and expunged the part where it had asked the government to consider adding Meiteis, who form 65% of the state's population, to the scheduled tribe list. The High Court says it is basing this decision on an earlier Supreme Court observation that it's not the courts but the central government's responsibility to modify, amend or alter the scheduled tribe list. The bench also said that the judgment was passed in a quote-unquote misconception of fact and law. 9 months later, my lords. If you remember, the Supreme Court of India had earlier frowned upon the flawed order of the Manipur High Court. A bench headed by Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, had called it obnoxious and incorrect. That order had sparked an unending cycle of ethnic violence in Manipur. That order now stands modified. Question is, can the High Court's correction calm the scarred state? I'm going to put that question to my guests who are joining me this evening. Rajat Sethi is an author. He's an economist as well. Rami Desai is an author. She's a political analyst. Both of them know Manipur very, very well. Mr. Sethi, I'm coming to you first. Do you think today's order will help calm down tempers in Manipur or inflame them? Because the Meiteis and the Kukis in the state have been in a virtual state of war. Will the Meiteis turn around and say, this is injustice? We will not let this pass.
Well, I think, no, you are right. The High Court, the Honorable High Court of Manipur never had the locus standi to come in and comment on the scheduled tribe status for the Meiteis. The demand, legitimate or not legitimate, is something that decided by the National Commission of Scheduled Tribes, which has a laid down prescribed way of reaching to a conclusion whether a tribe, whether a community is eligible to be qualified under the scheduled tribe status. Therefore, the High Court, by the way, I mean, there is a misreading of the High Court order back in the month of April as well. High Court merely said that there is an old 10-year-old pending order and it needs to be reconsidered by the government. High Court did not necessarily pass in the order, but even that, for that matter of fact, even that should not have been said by the High Court because it was beyond its locus. This is the reason why the Supreme Court had to step in and wrap the High Court and tell them that this is not your place. Now, having said that, what repercussions is it going to have in the current scenario? In my view, people have largely sort of understood that if at all a demand has to be placed to demand an ST status, then the courts are not the right platform. They will have to present the right data points, etc., before the required committees. That understanding is there. So I don't believe that people would be, or the Meiteis would be enraged by this current ruling of the High Court.
Okay, but will it help calm down the situation? Now, yes, the situation, it's not as bad as it was 6 months ago or 5 months ago or even 4 months ago. Things have calmed down, but there are sporadic incidents of violence. There are more and more deaths that are being reported, not every day, but we see some deaths being reported almost every week, 10 days. Rami Desai, in that context, do you see the High Court's course correction, as it were? It's coming too late in the day. I mean, it is coming after 9 months of violence. But do you think the court's course correction will help calm down the situation in Manipur? Or are the battle lines so deeply drawn कि आप बस दोनों groups एक दूसरे के खून के प्यासे हैं? and nothing that is said at this point of time will make a difference to what is happening on the ground?
Sure, first of all, good evening. Let me begin by saying that we are debating something that may not be accurate. See, it's section 17.3 that has been struck off. Now, what does it say? Please give me a minute here. It says the first respondent shall consider the case of the petitioners for inclusion of the Meitei community in the scheduled tribe list. Within a period of 4 weeks from the date of receipt of a copy of this order in terms of the amendment set out in the writ petition. Now, point 3 of the order has been struck off, meaning that the state government is now under no obligation to send the recommendation within 2 weeks, which was later amended to 1 year by the central government. So the only change that has happened is there's no time restraint. And of course, the original position of exercising discretion to send the recommendation for the inclusion still remains. So, the government needs to reply. Now, the High Court, as we know, maybe should not have sent the recommendation, because actually it's the state government that sends the recommendation. It not only goes to the NCST, but it also, the TRI also has a say in it. It goes through many levels of processes, and you can counter it as well, like in the case of the Banjaras, where the case has been in the courts for the last 20 years. So this is really, with all due respect, this is really a little bit of a hullabaloo around nothing. This isn't going to change anything. In terms of that, the Meitei still have a right to demand for scheduled tribe status. That is their right. And that recommendation will go by the state government. So it doesn't matter what happens here, number one. Number two.
So, Rami, can I just interrupt you here? Can I just interrupt you here?
Please.
Can I just interrupt you here, because you make an important point, and I just want to stay with this point for a bit. What you are telling me is that essentially most of us in the press have misread what the High Court has said. The High Court has, yes, expunged the part where it had asked the state government to reconsider actually the scheduled tribe tag for Meiteis and respond to them within 4 months, right? This is what the High Court had said. So my understanding is that this part has been expunged. Why are you saying that this will not amount to much, that there is a misreading? Could you explain it to me and my viewers?
See, point 3 is talking about the time within which the recommendation has to be made. Right now, that has been expunged.
Yes.
Now, having said that, anyway, the High Court doesn't decide who gets scheduled tribe status or who doesn't. The procedure is that the state government will recommend it. It will go through various levels of verification to check whether that demand can be passed or not. It will go through National Commission of Scheduled Tribes. It will go through Tribal Research Institute. On many occasions, there's been the Tata Institute of Social Sciences also that has given its recommendations. So it goes through multiple levels. So anybody who belongs to a tribal body will also say the same thing, that, whether they expunge point 3 or not makes no difference. Either side of the party will say that, Shreya. Now the point comes, what is the process of inclusion of scheduled tribe status? You have to fulfill the criteria of who a scheduled tribe is. Many a time, Shreya, it's like the Hutties. Many a times, communities that don't fulfill the exact criteria of what is laid down as, an umbrella term of under what scheduled tribes consist of, have been added at the discretion of these organizations. The process is completely different. As you would agree, and you've said also, the Supreme Court has said also, that HC has no business here recommending, And if you look at the point 3, read it, and I'm sure you have, it talks about the time barrier. Now, whether it will, bring peace to the state or not, I don't think, I anyway don't think that this was the only reason why the conflict started. I think, it's a multi-layered situation. There are many, many other reasons. We'll have to have a larger view of that.
Okay, fair point. Can I then just get in Rajat Sethi here? Rajat Sethi, the High Court has said what it has said. Is it time for Manipur's Chief Minister N. Biren Singh and many questions have been raised about his political competence as well, for him to come out and say, guys, calm down. The High Court, maybe we are misreading it, but the fact is that many of us do believe that it was the High Court verdict that had set off the fire in Manipur. So the High Court has done what it has done. The scope of what it has done may be limited, but it has done what it has done. And we are in absolutely no hurry to give the Meiteis the status of scheduled tribes. Is it time for the Meitei Chief Minister to come out and make that assurance to all cookies and tribals? Do you think he will do it, given the fact that this is an election year?
First of all, let me correct you. He is not a Meitei Chief Minister. He's a Manipur Chief Minister. Manipur has seen a lot of Chief Ministers from different minority tribes as well. So let us not try and...
Rajat, I agree with you. Rajat, I agree with you. I agree with you. And actually, I should have said Manipur's Chief Minister and said that the man cookies believe is a Manipuri Chief Minister, because that is what cookies in the state say, that this is not Manipur's Chief Minister. This is the Chief Minister of Meiteis. Anyhow, respond to what I've asked. You've made that point, and I've made the counterpoint. But I agree with you. I should have called him Manipur's Chief Minister. Go ahead, please.
And also, don't put the blame on the entire Kuki community. There are a lot of reasonable people within the Kuki community as well as in the Meitei community. Not all Kuki community also feel the way you are sharing. That's number one. Number two, as I said, the conflict is now multidimensional. There are just various layers and layers of aspects of illegal migration, squatting on reserved forest land, plus the Meitei violence that has happened, and then the corresponding Kuki violence that has happened. That, you know, justice has to be brought to all the aggrieved victims' families in the whole crisis. In its entirety, I think the problem's solution will have to be looked in. There are some genuine concerns of the Meiteis and some genuine concerns of the Kukis, which require multi-pronged approach. And I think center is better placed to step in. And I think in all likelihood, once this election time is concluded, we will see a greater sort of an outreach from the new government coming in, swearing in post-May. We will see a resolution being reached to a point. And then right now, the deliberations are going on between various stakeholders of the conflict as we speak. Various civil societies of both the sides are reaching out to each other and trying to find solutions on multiple issues, not just a high court issue.
Okay, we'll leave it there then. Thank you very much, Rajat Sethi. It was good to have you on the show. Rami Desai, thank you very much for getting us perspective on what has happened in the Supreme Court. Thanks to both of you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are shifting our focus now from Manipur to West Bengal, where the BJP and the TMC are engaged in a pitched battle. The spark was something as serious as rape, but has been completely subsumed. For the last 10 days, there has been high political drama, with the BJP keeping the pressure on the TMC and the TMC refusing to let BJP leaders enter Sandesh Khali. So today, as BJP State President Sukanta Majumdar was doing a sit-in dharna in front of a Bengal police station, the Bengal police lost patience with him. They dragged him, they detained him, leading to another round of high decibel rhetoric. Listen in.
Sir, today we saw that you were sitting on a sit-down protest in front of the police station, and then later you were detained by the police. Sir, what happened exactly? Why were you suddenly detained?
I won't be able to answer that why I have been detained. Police informed me that I have broken the 144. 144 has been imposed by the police, and it is political 144 because this 144 is only applicable on BJP, but not on TMC, because during that 144, the TMC MLA, he was roaming here and there with almost 50 people. And this is the proof that rule of law is totally abolished from this land of Mamata Banerjee. Only the constitution written by the Mamata Banerjee, that is prevailing here. See, police dragged me. Even I could not have the time to wear my shoes. One cup of tea, just they presented to me to drink that. Even I could not drink that. The police is so lack of humanity. Even they don't have that much of courtesy. That how they should behave.
By the way, it's not just the BJP state president. Even the scheduled tribe panel was today blocked from visiting rape complainants in Sandesh Khali. The women of Sandesh Khali, who've accused TMC strongman Shah Jahan Sheikh and his men of rape, harassment and lab grabbing, once again today, you see them there, took to the streets demanding his arrest. Angry protesters set on fire a hut belonging to absconding TMC leader's brother, Shreya Dhoundial. The villagers alleged that Shreya Dhoundial had grabbed the land from tribals at the behest of his older brother. Meanwhile, the National Human Rights Commission has taken suo motu cognizance of media reports on unabated human rights violation in the area. It's election season and it's a no-brainer that Sandesh Khali will be the fulcrum of the BJP's Bengal campaign. Prime Minister Modi's proposed visit to Bengal has become the latest flashpoint between the TMC and the BJP. Now, the Prime Minister, we are being told, will be in West Bengal on March 6th and will be addressing a women's rally in North 24 Parganas. Sandesh Khali falls in the same district. Earlier, the BJP chief of Bengal, Shukanta Majumdar, the man you just heard, had said that there is a possibility that the Prime Minister may meet with women of Sandesh Khali who have complained of rape. PMO sources, though, are saying that nothing has been finalized yet. The proposed rally has the TMC riled up. They say the Prime Minister has time to visit Bengal, but not Manipur.
So there should be a video on horrors of Manipur. Then what about horrors in Chopra? What about horrors involving Sakshi Malik? What about the horrors of Unnao? What about the horrors of Hathras? Manipur, of course. So how can you be a bystander when it comes to a BJP government and a BJP double engine? And anyway, they are known for their manipulative videos. Everybody needs to take it not with a pinch of salt, but plenty of salt. There have been some horror films also in the past about videos which have been posted by BJP of incidents probably happening in Bangladesh.
Let me go across to our guests who are joining us this evening. Dr. Avra Sen is spokesperson of the BJP in West Bengal. She is joining us on the broadcast. Tausifur Rahman is spokesperson of the TMC. As Sanjay Jha is author, joining us on the broadcast as well. Tausifur Rahman, what exact problem do you have with the Prime Minister's visit? We are being told that his visit has now been finalized for March 6th. He's not going to Sandesh Khali, but he's going to North 24 Parganas. In fact, my point is that the Chief Minister should have been there, listening to women who have made these complaints of rape, instead of calling them ghost stories, instead of calling them paid actors.
See, Shreya, you know the whole story, what is happening over there and what kind of politicizing is going on. They want to give a communal angle. The thing is getting scripted, it's getting manipulated. You know the whole story. I don't have to repeat. And it's a free country and he's the Honorable Prime Minister of India. He can visit anywhere he wants to, whether it's Bangladesh or India or Pakistan. I mean, that's all his favorite places. Now he wants to go Sandesh Khali or not, I don't know. But he is free to go anywhere. No one is stopping him. Like, are we, who's stopping him? I want to know that. He's the Prime Minister. But again, the way Sukanto Majumdar, the way Subendu Adhikari has politicized this whole Sandesh Khali and want to change this into a battle zone, the problem starts there. You know, Shreya, back from 40 days, this whole story started with ED. When they went without a lookout notice and they instigated the people of Sandesh Khali, they provoked the people of Sandesh Khali and they came free hand ki bhaiya hame to mara gaya hai. Now I'm going back. Hamare saath bahut anyay hua hai. Now that is the time, Shreya, it's a whole story. Let me complete. We wanted to help the ED. We wanted to support the ED. We wanted to support all the national machineries, whatever they wanted to do. But from ED to Sheikh Shah Jahan, from Shibu Hajra, bringing the women into a highlight, getting into sexual assault, rape victims, everything is going bizarre. They have created a facade. They have created a massacre. Now, Shreya, you tell me, what is the actual thing in Sandesh Khali you don't know? Neither I know, neither you know, neither BJP knows.
I don't know. BJP and I want to know. I want to know. But the politics between the TMC and the BJP has completely sidetracked the main issue. Where is the West Bengal government standing up and saying, we are going to get to the root of the matter? And even if you say it, no one will believe you because your senior most leaders have gone ahead and called these women actors, paid actors who are getting 5,000 rupees from the RSS to espouse all these lies so that the TMC gets into trouble. Come on, yaar, Tausif, the story you're giving me, even your best friends will not believe.
No, no, Shreya. See, I understand what you want to say. I totally respect. You're a senior journalist. But when we talk about paid actors, I also want to say the paid actors coming from Delhi also. Though they are the paid actors also. I mean, the Chief Women Commission, I mean, whatever she's speaking, I mean, she's not bothered about the women. Indirectly or directly, they want to hit the state machineries. We want to investigate few things. They are not allowing us to investigate. They are creating a mess over there. अगर आप
ठीक है, रेखा
investigate नहीं
शर्मा
करना
has
चाहते
a
हैं,
dubious. No,
अगर
no,
आप
no.
एक
Wait,
सिख
wait, wait,
भाई
wait,
को
wait.
अगर आप एक सिख भाई को खालिस्तानी कहना चाहते हैं,
हाँ.
you want to call a Muslim as a Islamist phobia or something like that. How you want us to work in Sandesh Khali where there is a big support
Listen.
of RSS presence in Sandesh Khali?
Tausif, I'll tell you one thing. Rekha Sharma may have a dubious political record. ठीक है, वो बीजेपी की है, कोई बात नहीं. But the fact is, she is head of the NCW. She has a right to come to Sandesh Khali and speak to the victims, just like the BJP and its leaders have a right to come and speak to the victims and do protest. आप ही रोकते हो. आज देखो क्या किया आप लोगों ने सुकांता मजुमदार के साथ. The police dragged him, then detained him. क्यों? It's exactly my point. It's a free country. Therefore, anyone should be allowed to go anywhere. क्यों भाई आपने संदेश खली को एक fortress बना रखा है, where BJP people cannot go? ये क्या बात हुई?
Let me complete.
This is a democracy, na?
Earlier it was 144. Suvendu Adhikari got a permission from court. He visited there. No one stopped him. But the kind of communal angle they want to give, they are the people who wanted to divert the main issues of women into a communal angle. It's in front of your eyes.
You know, communal...
The IPS has been called a Khalistani.
Correct. And the fact is that even the TMC is playing the...
So
no, see, listen, what happened with the IPS officer is unfortunate.
You don't want to
तो मेन मुद्दे में आप लोग रहने का देते हैं. आपने खालिस्तानी कर दिया, दूसरों ने टेररिस्ट कर दिया, है ना? तो आप दोनों के खालिस्तानी और टेररिस्ट के बीच में मेन मुद्दा तो ऑब्वियसली नहीं दिखेगा. नहीं, आप भी तो कर रहे हैं.
Whatever you said,
Dr. Sen, anyway.
They are repeating things. We are not obstructing anything. It's a free country, boss. You can go. They never go to Sandesh Khali from last 10 years. They want to go, no, because again Lok Sabha is coming. तो border में चुनाव है तभी तो हल्ला है.
Dr. Sen, respond to that.
हो चुकी ना चुनाव की वजह से.
Doctor, okay. Dr. Abra Sen, two charges against. Yeah. All right. You've heard everything. Why should I even repeat myself? Go ahead.
There is no point in repeating what the TMC spokesperson has said. It is ludicrous to say the least. First, he said there is RSS there, they are very strong there. And then he's saying, since last 10 years, nobody went. There was only TMC. Come on. You are proving yourself to be a laughing stock, man. Is this serious? Is this a joke? Is women's safety in West Bengal a joke? If West Bengal was ruled by ISIS or Taliban, the situation would have been same. Come on. He's lying on the face, TMC spokesperson. 144 section CRPC was imposed by TMC government. After that, the High Court categorically revoked that. Still, Mr. Suvendu Adhikari was not allowed to enter. Dr. Sukanta Mujumdar, previously when he tried to reach Sandesh Khali, he was heckled by the police. He was admitted in the hospital for days. And today again, this thing happened. That is not the main issue. But why are we fighting like this? We are fighting for women's rights. Women of Sandesh Khali have come out in numbers. And yet, it will be a pain for TMC because ED went to nab down Sheikh Shah Jahan. If ED did not go to nab this criminal, this mafia Sheikh Shah Jahan, women wouldn't have gathered the courage to come out in the open even today. And they would have been facing this systemic violence even today. It would have been pathetic for them. It was only after ED went, CRPF went, and they were tackled, manhandled. Kindly let me complete, ma'am. They were manhandled. And the scenario was people could gather courage that this was high time for them to come out in the open and speak about the systemic violence, the harassment, the rapes, and everything else that they had faced for days and days, nights and nights. I should tell once again, TMC party officers were used for harassing and raping women. This is the categorical allegation. BJP is not alleging this. Women from Kali have alleged this. But the sad part is the Chief Minister of West Bengal, a woman who is the police minister or the home minister of Bengal, she categorically said on the floor of the state assembly that all these are actors. A spokesperson of TMC
Okay,
asked
Dr.
for a
Sen,
video
therefore
clip
the
of
question.
What is this? What is this? This is
Okay,
a
Dr. Sen,
complete state
therefore
of lawlessness in Bengal.
Dr. Sen, therefore the question. अच्छा सुन लीजिए okay we saw that in Sandesh Khali अब आप मेरा सवाल सुनिए Dr. Sen, the point is, and the TMC is asking this question, it is all very well for the BJP's heart to bleed for the women of Sandesh Khali who were alleged rape. Why does their heart not beat for women in Manipur? Why is it that the Prime Minister has the time? एक minute. Why is it that the Prime Minister has the time to come to West Bengal and not 24 Pargana, but in 9 months has not had the time to go and visit the women in Manipur? Women were raped there, right? And there are official complaints there. Those have been proven. They were raped and they were paraded naked and they were filmed.
Shreya ji, kindly let me respond to that. TMC's logic has no basis at all. It's an illogical thing they are saying. A situation of ethnic violence, it is very unfortunate and it has to be carved down. If an ethnic violence between Meitei people and Kuki people are happening, then the police or the state machinery has to step in and they have to do everything possible under the daylight to control the situation. But that is a different situation. I'm also saying that it is wrong and it has to be carved down. Whatever happened was very painful and strict action were taken. And ethnic violence where thousands of people are involved in the clash is a different scenario. But in the case of Sandesh Khali, it's a very small piece of land. Only 4 islands comprise Sandesh Khali. Here there is no case of ethnic violence, ma'am. Here there is case of systemic violence. TMC leaders who are also local mafias, they have used their muscle power and their whatever machinery they have, with whatever nexus they have with the police, to unleash this violence on local women, local people. This is an entirely different scenario.
Okay.
The local police should have taken a stand. They did not take a suo motu cognizance. The Chief Justice of Honorable Calcutta High Court has also said that police should have taken action. Sheikh Shahjahan should have been nabbed. 50 days have passed. Police has been doing nothing at all. And women are crying day in and day out.
And there is no doubt in my mind, no, Dr. Sen, there is no doubt in my mind that it is the TMC government that is shielding him. Because had they wanted to arrest Sheikh Shahjahan, they would have done it 59 days ago. I have no doubt about that in my mind. I have no doubt about the fact that he is being protected because there is an election and Mamta Banerjee's big vote bank is the Muslim vote. Okay, all of us are very clear on this. But Sanjay Jha, I want to come to you with this question, and this is something that pains me. Has this story now become about your rape versus my rape?
Well, let me tell you something with a great deal of sadness, Shreya. That is the truth. I was hearing the BJP spokesperson utter these platitudes about we are fighting for women's rights. You know, I think when political parties abandon their concern for women, only treat them as some kind of a vote bank, you will witness such a brazen hypocrisy and, in my opinion, a disgusting manipulation of what appears to be allegedly a lot of violence. Now, whatever has been alleged in West Bengal must be investigated. I'm very indifferent to which government is in power. I do support the India alliance. But if there's any grain of truth in what the BJP has alleged, let the government investigate that. Let the police put the facts out there and let the courts come in if they have to. But I want to tell you this, Shreya. The BJP is the last political party on earth which should even comment on women's issues. I'll tell you why, because I have written a book where I have dedicated a chapter to the horrific release of the rapists of Bilkis Banu. And it was not just the Gujarat state government. I want to tell the BJP spokesperson that even the central government was complicit in that extremely repugnant behavior. And that happened, Shreya, on the 75th year of Indian independence. I mean, you know, it can't get more sickening than that. I mean, for God's sake, I mean, you have a situation where I remember coming on Mirror now with you, a woman is gang raped and the incident is concealed on the pretext of an internet shutdown for 2 months. I mean, people had to run from pillar to post to get an FIR registered. Gang rape by a mob. I mean, what world are we talking about? I mean, I have no problem. Let Narendra Modi win a 3rd term. But can he live with the conscience of the fact that when the women wrestlers were protesting in the streets of Delhi for a sexual harassment case against Brijbhushan Singh, did Mr. Modi give them an audience? And the Prime Minister did photo ops with them when they came back after winning the medals. You know, I think we have become so tolerant in our country of allowing our public leaders to have this halo of being semi-gods and demigods and what have you, that we allow people to get away with blue murder. I mean, I am saying so here. I support the TMC, I support the India Alliance, but I will stand with my BJP spokesperson. If there is something wrong, it needs to be out. I don't care who's responsible. But I don't want the BJP to come on a national channel with the kind of popularity yours has, and most important, the credibility that yours has, and utter some kind of pontificating nonsense, because they could be playing in electoral politics. I think it's about time we put this extremely shameless, kind of dubiousness out of the public conversation. India deserves better than that.
Dr. Sen, respond to that. There's blatant hypocrisy at display when the BJP says we feel for the women of Sandesh Kali.
Yeah, allow me to respond.
And not
please,
for the
Mr.
women of Manipur, not for the women of Hathras, and certainly not for women wrestlers.
Let me respond. Mr. Jha has himself exposed what his mindset is. He is the hypocrite here in this debate because he has told twice that he is a blatant supporter of India Alliance and blatant supporter of TMC. He's not analyzing the issue from an objective point of view. He's biased. He has himself categorically said that. So I'm not adding to that. And let him say whatever he wants to say. But I would say one thing very logically. A whataboutery cannot be justification of the systemic violence against women in Sandesh Kali. Whatever has happened in Manipur or somewhere else is condemnable. And BJP governments, wherever they are, law has taken its own course. But in the case of West Bengal, the TMC leaders, the CM
not in Manipur. Law has certainly not taken its own course. The law has been forced to take its own course.
Shreya ji, मैंने पहले भी बताया, I have told once again, you cannot compare a situation of ethnic violence between thousands of people to what is happening in West Bengal, Sandesh Kali. But it is shameful, to say the least, that this author, Mr. Jha, with due respect, I am compelled to say this, he has gone to the level of showing this much bias. You cannot do a whataboutery in the case
of course, he will have a bias.
Yes, he has shown extreme bias.
Dr. Sen, here's the point.
He cannot
Dr. Sen, here's the point.
If something has happened somewhere else, that cannot be a justification.
Dr. Sen, I don't know why you come to a news debate expecting an unbiased view. Dr. Sen, it is unreasonable. Suniye. Dr. Sen, suniye. He's not saying those allegations are false. Neither am I saying all those allegations are false. He and I are both saying that these allegations need to be investigated. Unfortunately, the main issue is getting sidetracked in all the politics and the rhetoric that is playing out. Also, Dr. Sen, a quick word about being unbiased. I think we just have to accept the fact that neutrality doesn't exist anymore in television debates. There is no panelist who will come in without any bias. Obviously, we all have our biases. We live in such deeply divided times politically.
The TMC
right?
person represents a political party, but the author is taking pot shots at BJP and openly saying that he's a supporter of India Alliance and TMC. You cannot expect objectivity.
I'll let Sanjay Jha. Okay, okay. Sanjay Jha, do you have a view on that? The good doctor from the BJP. अच्छा रुक जाइए. ठीक है, एक minute. Let's just hear what Sanjay has to say. The good doctor here is very upset, Mr. Jha, that I called you an author, but you are deeply biased against the BJP.
Well, doctor, let me tell Dr. Sen. Dr. Sen, I have actually been transparent. If you had any wisdom, instead of trying to castigate me, you should have appreciated. I haven't come here as a pseudo, political analyst. Many of them from the right wing who go on shows and bat for Modi and the RSS and the BJP and pretend to be neutral. You understand that? Before you make any outrageous statement against me, please at least have the decency to appreciate I'm clear where my political stance is. And I'm not telling that the TMC should be absolved if they have a responsibility. So stop trying to change the topic and explain to the people of India and apologize to the people of India for Bilkis Banu. Apologize for Manipur. Apologize for Sakshi Malik and the women wrestlers. And then you come on a TV show.
Tausifur Rahman, I'm going to give you the last word. Keep it short. We were speaking about neutrality in the last 20 seconds or 25 seconds. I want to know why the West Bengal government cannot be neutral to what has happened in Sandesh Kali and investigate the claims that have been made by women. These are women who have gone to television channels, who have been interviewed not just by the Times Network, but every network in the country. Their story has remained the same. Their story has been consistent. Even before investigating what they are saying, you have dismissed it as a political film that is playing out. Why is that?
Shreya,
The charge is that here you are trying to appease the 30% Muslim vote bank in West Bengal. That is the charge.
Shreya, we are responsible of 10 crore people in West Bengal who has given their blessing from last 10 to 11 years. But again, that's not the case. The case is about the woman who have come forward and she has the power to say something in the camera, but she has some kind of grievance that the police is not taking action. Yesterday, the General Secretary of Trinamool Congress, Abhishek Banerjee, clearly said that within 10 days, we will get Sheikh Shahjahan. The court said that you cannot compare West Bengal with Manipur. But my friend, so-called doctor, when you talk about Manipur, he uses the word ethnicity and some kind of angle which he gives. But उनको ये शर्म नहीं आता है कि एक जवान लड़की को नंगे करके जला दिया गया, and he doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to talk about Bilkis Banu. He talks about whataboutery cannot be compared with West Bengal. Absolutely. Anyone's dignity, any woman's dignity, it's non-negotiable. Whether it's India or it's all around the world. So West Bengal is nothing. In all over India, you cannot negotiate the dignity of a woman. But at the end of the day, Brij Bhushan, the people like Brij Bhushan, who's a friend of Dr. Avra Sen, he's very happy with him. Now the game between Tom and Jerry, the problem is between Sukanto Majumdar and Swendu Adhikari. I mean, their egoistic whole problem within Sandesh Khali, Bashir Hat or Nadia. The problem has started where? But again, Shri, I'll tell you, being a TMC spokesperson, no one will be spared. Give us 1 week of time. Everything will be black and white. This is not Manipur, where the CM of West Bengal will be hiding somewhere.
We'll hold
she
you
will
to
come
it.
forward, she will do the needful, and things will be here. Else, you are here, I am here, you can catch my collar.
She should have been in
it's about a
Sandesh Khali.
personal thing.
No, here's the point. She should have been in Sandesh Khali. If women are making this allegation against one of her own men, against her own workers, she should have been in Sandesh Khali overseeing these investigations. It's as simple as that, Tausifur Rahman. There is no other way I look at it. We leave it there for the moment. The story is not over. You're telling us that Abhishek Banerjee is now promising that the man who has been absconding for the last 50 days, Shah Jahan Sheikh, will be apprehended. Arey bhaiya, why can he not comment? Ye kaun si baat hui? But
you just
he's from the TMC na. Dr. Sen, what logic is this? अरे भैया, Dr. Sen, he's from the TMC ना. What logic is this?
आपकी हिम्मत है ब्रिजभूषण से पूछना कितने लड़कियों
अच्छा हो गया हिम्मत तब होगी हिम्मत तब होगी when you investigate the charges of rape. रुकिए हो गया gentlemen, I've heard all of you. हिम्मत आप लोग तब दिखाएंगे when you keep this political rhetoric from both sides aside and let the matter be investigated and the perpetrator be punished, irrespective of whether that person belongs to the TMC or not. We'll leave it there for the moment. Dr. Sen, thank you very much. Tausifur Rahman, thank you very much. Sanjay Jha, always good to have you on the show. Thank you very much.